Okay, so tonight's job is a bit of DIY assembly. It's a cupboard that's going to go onto the wall of the van, and it's a self-assembly kit. It was on special offer for January sales, so I thought it was a good time to buy it, and I'll show you what it looks like when I've completed it. Hi, it's Saturday 11:50, 10th of January. So this morning the challenge has been, amongst a few other little smaller jobs, trying to see how I can fit my overhead cabinet. I built the cabinet last night. I have got a problem with one of the catches, so I'm hoping they're going to send me a replacement for that. But I want to see if I can work out how to attach it to the side of the van most effectively. Now, one of the challenges of this is trying to do it by yourself. So let me show you where we've got to so far. Okay, so here is the cabinet. It's on its side, obviously, lengthwise at the moment. And what we've had to do, let me just come around the other side, is we've had to cut the back at various angles, angling it in. And because of the way the ceiling works, different angles for the different ones. So my plan is to attach it to this part by here. It's quite heavy and a little bit big, but we'll be fine once it's up there. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use kitchen cabinet connectors and then strengthen the connection once I've got those up. It'll allow me to clip the cabinet into position, which should be easier to do working by myself, and then, as I say, I might strengthen it afterwards. So it's these kind of things here, which you can't really see in there, but they're the typical type of kitchen cabinet connectors that I use for normal cabinets. Okay, so the good news is I've managed to fit these overhead cupboards. That will be covered up, that bit there. That's just a bit of extra strengthening. Let me just pan out a minute and come around the other side, and you can have a little bit of a better look. So these are the cupboards that I've fitted. And what I'm going to do is to give it some extra stability, because at the moment what I'm doing is I'm using normal kitchen connectors here to hold it in place. I'm going to put some batten along the bottom here to strengthen it, and also a little bit at the top. Screw that onto the back wall so everything stays in place. Pleased with that. I'll give you an update once I've finished. Okay, so hadn't planned for that to happen. Everything's just fallen on the floor. Okay, so change of plan. I've decided to use a different piece of board and cover it with carpet and Velcro it into position. And this is the result. I haven't tested that the connections are still all working, but I'm pleased with the way that it looks. A lot tidier and very neat. Hi, it's Friday afternoon, January the 16th. And what work we have been doing over the last week is really around woodwork and trying to tidy things up. At the back of the van, I still need to do the big job of the windows at the front of the van, and but I need to wait for the decent weather to be able to do that. So let me give you an update of where we're going so far. Okay, so it's about 4 o'clock. We've got a little bit of light outside still. So basically, you can see now that the woodworking is starting to take shape. We're starting to put some trims around the edging, or beading as they are, to try and tidy up the van. This is as was, and then if I come backwards here, I built a little cabinet for my power station, and the plan is to build some storage over the top of that cabinet. I've also tidied up quite a bit of electrics. I know there's a lot of cables coming out of there, but basically this end is now all wired up, although there are still wires and cables for example, at the top there, which haven't got anything attached to them as yet. There's no fuses, so I'm not going to be blowing myself up at the moment. And so over the other side, same kind of thing. We had already finished this side here. It's a bit of a mess everywhere, but we have now done all the side paneling over here. I still have a little bit of a problem with my water meter. This is a new problem. It's making a clicking sound even when it's not powered up, which is quite interesting. When the power is running through the system, but the switch is off, it is still making a noise. So I need to work out why that's happening. I've still got to do the trim around the edge of these windows. And then if we move to the other end of the van, you've already seen that we've done this bit over the top of the door, filled that in. This is all going to be painted and filled a little bit more. And then put a bit of beading on the top up there to tidy that up. It's a bit dark at this end of the van. And then I had some beading, which was a little bit thicker because of the way the curve went here. I just needed something slightly thicker to bead here. And again, this will be painted white. So it's going to look a lot tidier when that is finished. Okay, so the good news is it's a dry day. It's Saturday. I think it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. And we are constructing cupboards for the back of the van. Now, to be honest, I wished I was doing this a little bit later on, but it seems like this was the right time to do it. And so let me show you what we've done so far. Okay, so basically this is the back of the van. It's what we call the garage space. And I'm now building some cupboard space. Earlier this morning, I've been to B&Q, got them to cut wood to various sizes, which saves me having to cut out so much wood. These cupboards will have backs on them. The back being the side that you're looking at now. We've now got this boxed in area. We've still got a small garage space at the back of the van as well. We've boxed in the electrics, and so by the end of the day, it's going to look a lot tidier. Okay, so this is a quick picture of the back of my van as it now currently stands after my work last week and a little bit of tidying up over yesterday evening. So that's the back of the van. Let's go inside. Okay, so this is inside of the van. As you can see now, we had some cupboard space here. You can still see all the dust flying around inside of the van, which always amazes me that it comes out on the video, even though I haven't actually been doing any work in here for a little while. So it's starting to look good. Basically, the bed will be built over the top of this. We've got seating area on either side. Then the kitchen's going to come down here. I've also built some cupboards over here, and these run around the back here as well, with some more cupboard space in the back of there. So starting to take some shape. Okay, so it's Friday afternoon. It's a little bit chilly, and what we're doing now is we're trying to lay the foundations for the bed, basically. And so I'm adding a little bit on the end to make the bed a little bit wider, as I'll show you now. But earlier on today, we got the van weighed, which was really helpful. It came in probably a little bit more heavy than I thought it would be at this stage, but it was good to get it weighed before I finish fitting it all out, because it's going to give me a much better idea of making sure that I'm under the 3.5 ton, so that's 3,500 kilogram limit. I'm just a little bit over 3 at the moment, but I've still got a number of things to add to the van. That included me in the van, and then you've also got to take into account the second passenger. Normally there'll be 2 of us in the van. So let me go back to what I'm doing today. Basically what I'm doing here is I am drilling some holes to put these brackets on here, and these brackets are going to be used for the end part of the bed. I'm using the struts that you can buy in IKEA, and so there's going to be 4 of them in total. 2 will be fixed in place, of which this is 1. which will fit in this part here, and then 2 will be movable and they will go over the seating area when we're not sleeping. I haven't got the struts yet, partly because I want to measure everything up once I've got things in place, and then I'm going to know what I need to buy. Okay, so didn't have much inspiration for working today, pretty tired, but what I have done is I've tried to rig up the lighting strips in the ceiling area, and it seems to have worked pretty well actually.